Welcome back. This is the second lesson recording for IM1, August 4th, 2020. So where we left off was talking to our teddy bears. We're doing some teddy bear math. I feel like I rushed, so I'm just going to go through a little bit slowly. So this is an opportunity for you to tell your teddy bear the different parts of the function notation. Okay, so when you have a function written in the g of t form or f of x form, what does that mean? Well, we should know what the output of the function is, what the rule of the function is, and name of the function is, and the input of the input variable. So what is that? Well, hopefully you should be able to say to your teddy bear that output of the function is g of t. The rule of the function is that 2 times t plus 4 is the rule, and the name of the function is g, and the variable representing input is t. It's really important that you actually verbalize some of these things, because that's going to help you process things better, and it's going to make you familiar with all the terms. Alright, well, let's try again with different function. This time this is called h of n, which is equal to 5n minus 1. What is h? What is n? What is the 5 times n minus 1? And what is h of n? So please tell it to your teddy bear what h is, that it is the name of the function, and n is the variable representing the input, and 5 times n minus 1 is the rule of the function, and lastly the h of n is the output of the function. Great. Alright, so then let's see how it is used. So the old way of writing things is like evaluate y is equal to negative 2x plus 4 when x is negative 3. The new way will be to write it in terms of f of x. f of x is equal to negative 2x plus 4. Notice that negative 2x plus 4 is exactly the same. The only thing that is different is that y has been replaced by f of x. And now if we say f of negative 3, this just basically means what is the output when the input is negative 3? What is the output of the function f when the input is negative 3? So let's solve it doing the old way. Okay, y is negative 2x plus 4 when x is negative 3. Like always, I like to write down the question in its entirety first. And then this just means to evaluate, you just need to substitute negative 3 for whenever you saw an x, wherever you saw an x. But notice that it's not just negative 2, negative 3, it is being multiplied. You need to remember that the operation between is multiplication. 2x means it's 2 times x. So here we go. Notice that I'm using parentheses so that I do not lose the negative sign, and that's a very common mistake. So please, please, please use the parentheses. Okay, then negative 2 times negative 3. Negative times negative is positive, and 2 times 3 is 6, so it becomes 6 plus 4, which is 10. What about using it the new way? Remember the f of negative 3 just means when the input is negative 3, what is the output? To do that, again, you're just substituting for x to be negative 3. Wherever you saw an x in the original rule, you're replacing it with the value that you have inside the parentheses. So this becomes negative 2 times negative 3 plus 4, just like before, and 6 plus 4 and is equal to 10. Again, the important thing is, do you get the answers correct? No, it's that are you using the notation correctly? Great. Okay, so then we went on to CPM ebook. So this is the first time we're actually using it. So you should have logged into our class ebook access. Okay, so if you have not done that during the first week, then you do need to do that before you can get access to it. If you have already done that, then all you need to do is go to ebooks.cpm.org and sign in with your Google, and it should get you to this blue book, which is integrated 1 textbook. Okay, all right, so then but if you have not done so, then you are going to go to ebooks.cpm.org, and this time you're going to click on a little sign that says first time login or something like that, enroll. And you're going to click on that and then enter one of these class codes depending on which period you belong to. Alright, so from CPM ebook, you are going to go to section 1.2.1, and you're going to solve 1.1-34 problem A and B, and then 1-36 B, H, and I. So please do that now. If you do complete this early, then you were allowed to go on to do some challenge problem. Okay, and it's always a good idea to do the challenge problem, because then it gets you thinking more and then it helps you understand better. So please pause the video, find these problems, and do them now. Okay, let's go through the answers now. Okay, so it says you should have read all the explanation that went with the problem before, and then now we're gonna try to tackle 1-34a. It says to calculate the output for f of x is 3x minus 1 when the input is x is equal to 14. That is really saying find f of 14. The input is 14. F of 14 just means that. So I am going to start by writing down what the f of x is and then find f of 14. F of 14 is where the input is 14, so wherever the x was, you're replacing it with 14. And then you just need to simply evaluate. 3 times 14 is 42, and then 42 minus 1 is 41. Now f of negative 10. F of x is still 3x minus 1, and that was given to us from the problem. Okay, so now we're finding f of negative 10. That means that wherever x was, I'm going to substitute negative 10. And again, I'm using parentheses so that I do not lose the negative symbol. Okay, it's really easy to do. So 3 times negative 10 is negative 30, and then minus 1 is negative 31. So there you go. All right, then 1-36b. This is where the function machine tells you the rule of the function f is 3 times 7 to the power of x. And this tells us that the input is 2. And this question mark tells us that we're looking for what the output is. So f of x is 3 times 7 times x, which means that we need to find what f of 2 is. What is f of 2? That's when the input is 2. And that means that wherever you saw x in the original equation, I am replacing that with our input value, which is 2. So then this just simplifies to 3 times 7 squared. And we need to evaluate 7 squared first, which is 49, because exponents are before multiplication division. And 3 times 49 is 147, and that's your answer. Okay, let's go to 1-36h. Now this function f of x is half times 3 to the power of x. So I'm going to write it down first. And now this x is equal to 4 tells me that the input is 4. So we're looking for f of 4, which just means wherever I saw an x, I'm replacing it with 4. So that just becomes half times, what is 3 to the power of 4? Is it 3 times 4? No, it's not. It's 3 being multiplied to itself. How many times? 4 times. So that's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is same as 81, because 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And 27 times 3 is 81. And then multiply that by half, is going to get you 40.5. Okay. If you need to stop the video anytime because I'm going too fast, you can do that with the videos, right? All right, 1-36i, last question. Okay, the function f of x is defined as absolute value of x minus 2 here. So I'm going to rewrite that. And we know the input is negative 4. So we are trying to find f of negative 4. That means I am substituting negative 4 into whenever I see an x, I'm going to substitute into that and then evaluate. What is absolute value of negative 4? It's just 4, right? And that's where the absolute value symbol goes away as well. So 4 minus 2 is just simply 2. Great. So those were the questions that you should have solved. For homework, it's just 3-minute Edpuzzle video. Really, actually, it's just 2.5 minutes, and there's just 2 minutes, 2 questions that you need to answer. So it's really easy homework, the first part. And the second part is just some CPM problem. This is from section 1.1.1. So it's chapter 1, section 1, and then out of that section, it's the first of that lesson. And 1-9 means it does not mean question 1 to 9. It means just question 1-9. So this is just one problem, and I think there are 9 parts to it or something like that, where you're doing the integer addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Then the section 1.2.1 is 1-38 problems, A to C only, and then 1-39. Great. The last thing you did in the class was that you wrote down the date, and that today we covered function notation in the table of content in your notebook. And finally, I asked everybody to submit a copy of your today's work that you copied down. So all the lesson notes from the slides, as well as the CPM work, and if you did any work for Desmos, then you were supposed to turn that in as well. Okay, so if you're watching this because you're absent, please submit those, and please mark on it that you were absent, and that is the reason it might be a day or so late. But you should be turning it in as soon as possible. Okay, thank you for watching, and have a good day.